What's up, guys? Jaydaniel here with my co-host Victor Marshall, and this is the Sales at Home podcast. Woo! We need like some kind of background sound, bro, some kind of ambience in the background. Um, no, so for today, really big topic. We talked about this a little bit on the podcast with Chance and with David. By the way, check those guys out. Say at the Sales Ramble TV, fucking beasts. Chance, when we all kind of talked about it, but I think it's such an important topic, and it's like, if you want to be good financially, you can't just be dependent on commission, right?
Mm-hmm.
You wanna, and even your commission, right? Ideally, you're getting paid commission from 2 or 3 different places, right? But like, you want to start investing, dude. And I'm not some kind of financial advisor, I'm not telling you to fucking do shit. This is educational only. This is entertainment. Right? If you're not watching fucking popcorn while you're watching us, you're not doing it right. But yeah, dude. What are your thoughts on like investing, diversifying, and kind of having your money start working for you once you're getting some
Yeah, I
momentum?
mean, I'm all for it, and I think it's necessary. Like Chance kind of said, if you're not doing it, then you're pretty dumb. Because I mean, you're just kind of relying. It's the same thing as living paycheck to paycheck. You're living commission check to commission check, and it's
It's
like
even worse.
it's
You might not
yeah,
get
it's
commission the
even
next
worse.
month.
Exactly. So it's like if you're not putting your money into some type of vehicle to fund the rest of your life, what are you doing? And it's not even about like I want to have so much money and I want to make a bunch of cash. It's about what am I going to do in 5 years when I don't want to be on the phones anymore? Like, how am I going to fund my next venture? How am I going to fund my next idea? You know what
Bro,
I mean?
most people don't even know their next venture or their next idea. Like
Which is
that,
crazy to me.
dude, that's what it all comes down to. What do you want? Everybody
Yeah.
thinks they have to be a millionaire salesperson. No, dude. I'm not even gonna be in sales next year. I may be in freaking Thailand, boxing, bro. Like literally, right? Like your goals are your
Yeah.
goals. And if you just come into the space with no goals and you're just like money, like number one, you're probably not gonna be very convincing on the phone.
Right.
Uh Number two, your prospects are you're gonna get a lot of people saying, I can tell you just want my money. You really want to make this. It's not gonna work. If you know exactly what you want, you're able to start establishing your values and morals and everything attached, and you're able to have a timeline. I don't think sales is sustainable super long term. I just don't. I don't think it's sustainable for most people to do, and most people don't want to do sales super long term. They came
Mm-hmm.
into it because they want to make more money. So, like literally, right? Like the guy who starts a lawn mowing company, he didn't start most of them don't start because they like mowing fucking lawns. They started because they want to get paid. And a better way to get paid is to start to evolve and level up as you get into the process onto your next level of development, whether it's having a crew and employees, right? Or whether it's pulling money that you're starting to get from mowing lawns and investing it into other companies, investing it into other assets, right? And I think that's huge, bro. Like me personally, I did the math with all my investments and my plan and everything, bro. As long as I keep doing what I'm doing and everything falls within the structure of what I've laid out, I'll be out of sales by August, you know? And
And
I
that's
think
huge. That's
100%.
huge because I don't even think people are like, oh, people don't even think about next month. They're just like, what am I going to do? How am I going to make this money so that I can keep making money, keep making money, keep making money for what? Like, how many times do you sit down and you watch a TV show and you're like, man, I wish I could do that? You can. That's the whole point of being free. We talk about time freedom, location freedom, career freedom, all of these things that we talk about as far as freedom goes, financial freedom, all these things, but we don't exercise it. We have no
Yep.
idea what freedom even means. Freedom means I
Oh,
can do this right now because I've put in the time and the effort and the work to make sure that I'm financially free to do that. I have the time to do that. I can pick up and go anywhere and do it. Like that's what we're talking about when we talk about time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. It's not, oh, I want it right now. It's I want to continue to have it for the future.
yep. Dude, and it's like this whole idea of freedom, right? Because at least for me, bro, and I've always been this way, but like I want to do whatever the fuck I want, you know? And I came into the space because I want to do whatever the fuck I want. I've been in it for 3 years. There have been days where I'm like, I actually feel like a slave. I don't have any excitement. I'm just kind of going through it. And like, if you're in that place, if you're listening to this and you're in a funk, it's because you're too unconscious. You don't know where you're going. Like imagine if you just found yourself in the middle of a workout and you're kind of just randomly doing shit and you don't even know how long you're gonna be there and it just feels off. Like of course you're not gonna have any motivation to do it because you don't see the progress, you don't see the finish line, you don't know why the fuck you're doing it. You don't think it's gonna work anyway. So for anybody who's stuck, something that I strongly advise is like truly sit down for a second, chill the fuck out, and figure out what you're doing this for, what your timelines look like, and what you want to do coming out of it. I like to an analogy I like to say is what's your Super Bowl? You know, there's this idea of like biblically, right? Like man without a vision shall perish, right? And I think that's a strong that's a very at the most fundamental and basic and practical level, that's very good advice. If you don't have if you don't have like an extremely clear like vision and mission of what you want to achieve, not just for sales, for your entire life,
You're done for.
you're done for. You should literally in your head have something where all you got to do is think about it, and you could do that for the rest of your life. It's that's if you can do that, that's really important.
Yeah.
You know, because every action that you do can be based on that, and you can start to work backwards. I call that like your Super Bowl, right? And then you can start bringing it closer and closer to the present, right? So like, right, so like you have the Super Bowl, but like, what are the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's your playoff look like, and what's that level of escalation? And how does sales factor into it, bro? If you can have that level of clarity and have clear established timelines around things, you can start to build systems that allow you to be consistent. You can start to know why you're fucking working. And what happens all of a sudden, you're not motivated anymore. You're getting after it, not because you feel like it, but because you're compelled to, you're pulled to, you know?
Yeah.
And
You got goals and deadlines and things to meet. You've got ceilings to hit. Like you've got
100%.
these objectives now because you've sat down and you've mapped it all out. It's like you don't get in your car and just start driving and expect to end up where you want to end up. Right?
100%.
You get in your car, you put in your GPS where you want to go, and it gives you steps and directions. It gives you turns. It gives you go this way, go that way. And then if something happens along the way, it corrects itself to get you to where you want to be. Right?
Yep. Dude,
everything in life works that way.
100%. And bro, like if you can't do it yourself because you're always in your head and you're too stuck in your pattern, look at what we're doing. We're just having a conversation, bro. I've gotten my best epiphanies just having a 3-hour phone call. Yeah. Like literally just having a 3-hour phone call. You go into the concept of goals, you start talking about your own life and what you like. Like for me personally, that's been the best way to really find that purpose, really find that drive, really find those next level of goals. Cause it's almost like journaling. I think everybody should pick up journaling. It's such a simple habit. Like just at the start of your day, open up Evernote. This is what I do. Open up Evernote, right? And just start writing. Like just literally just start writing. You can have little prompts for questions like what do I want? You know, what went well yesterday? What do I want today to look like? Like but bro, if you just literally start journaling and start writing, after like 2 minutes, you're really going to start to flow. You're really going to like be able to start reflecting on your thoughts and really plan out your day. Right. Yeah. And you're able to reflect on the day before. You're able to structure everything out. And if you can do that before you even go to bed, bro, like Jim Rohn always says it, right? Like before your day starts, have your day planned. Like have it on paper.
Yeah.
Before your week starts, have it on paper. Before your month starts, have it on paper. Before your year starts.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that crush it, right? And so there's two elements, right? There's the element of like the worker, right? The soldier who just takes orders, right? You want to be the pinnacle of a soldier, and you want to be the pinnacle of the fucking boss, bro. The boss doesn't spend all day like shoveling and doing bullshit. The boss is like, what's the plan? What's the structure? What are we doing? Right? The soldier doesn't spend all day trying to figure out the orders, trying to contradict this guy, trying to be smart, right? Being distracted. The soldier just does what he's fucking told to do. So fundamentally, you need to establish this relationship with yourself where when you ahead of time say you're gonna fucking do this and this and this, you do it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that leads into investments, bro. If you honor the promises you make to yourself and you have an investment plan, you can walk with confidence knowing, hey, in 6 months I'll be at this point. In 12 months I'll be here. In a couple of years, I'll be here. And dude, like every top performer I've ever met, and I'm sure that you've ever met, right? They fundamentally have that fucking like trust in themselves, or they
Yeah.
say they're gonna do something, they do it. They
Yeah.
trust themselves, you know?
I think it's really key what you said about being the pinnacle of the boss and the pinnacle of the soldier at the same time, the worker.
Yep.
Because that's entrepreneurism, right? That's being an
Yep.
entrepreneur. That's waking up saying, I have enough agency over my body and myself that I am completely in control of what's going on, but I'm also gonna grind it out to get to what I need to get done. I'm gonna make sure
Yep.
that I do exactly what I need to do. I'm gonna make sure that I put in all the effort, all the work, all the painstaking detail that's needed. I'm gonna put that into,
Yep.
because not only am I boss, right? I'm also the workhorse. It does
Yep.
not work without me. It does not work without me putting in the effort, and it does not work without my vision. A lot of
Yep.
us are stuck in the effort part, and we're great with the effort, but the vision sucks.
Bro, some of us are trying to do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they're separate hats, right? Like shout out to Jaydaniel. He talks about having like your dreamer, right? Your realist, your critic, right? Those are
Yep.
different hats that you put on based on the situation. And so like if you're ever lost, literally, here's the thing. Here's how to fit never be lost again. Are you listening to me? This is how to never be lost again. Clip this shit, bro. I'm telling you. Like, because so many people are fucking lost. If you're lost, you need a path to follow, right?
Mm.
Who better to set a path than you?
Mm-hmm.
But you're lost. Yeah, because you're stuck in the fucking weeds, being a workhorse, doing random shit. Like, you got to put on your CEO hat, literally sit down, chill out, put on your CEO hat, and structure out the rest of your week, bro. Structure it out. Don't let anything distract you. You can't even fucking sit down for 10 minutes and make a plan. You're fucked anyway, right? Go work at McDonald's,
Mm-hmm.
right? So sit down, structure out your plan. It's with everything, bro. With fitness, right? You want to be fit? You want to put on some muscle? Okay, cool. Write out what you're gonna eat before you fucking eat it, right? If you want to make money in sales, write out how many sales you got to make, how many people you got to talk to, how you're gonna go about it, what leads you're gonna contact, how many you have coming in, and how many you need, right? Investments. How much money do I need allocated at what like percentage rate to be able to achieve the number that's going to allow me to walk away from sales if you don't want to do sales, or buy a house if you want to buy a house, right? It all comes back to planning ahead of time, and planning is something that you need to put your CEO hat on for. Implementing the plan, you got to shut that shit the fuck off, and you got to be present, bro. None of this shit with 6 tabs and distracted and bullshit, and get the fuck out of here, dude. No wonder you can't pay your bills. And
Yeah.
so, but dude, I think if people just did that, like, how could you possibly make less than 6 figures, and how could you possibly not live the life you want when it's that fucking simple? That
Yeah.
fixes 99% of problem for anybody who's making less than 6 figures, bro.
A lot of times it isn't, I don't know. It's, I'm not willing to do the work. And it's like,
Sometimes the work is just shut the fuck up, sit down, and make a plan.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and sometimes the work is okay. You made a plan, fucking do it. Stop reading a book. You have your
And that's
plan.
the thing. Like this, we talk about the 9 to 5 mentality, right? And how then
Mhm.
people get stuck in the 9 to 5 mentality and they stay there, right?
Right.
And so what is that? If not, I'm just gonna coast by, I'm just gonna show up, do my job, and be done. But I don't have a plan for retirement. I don't invest in any 401ks. I don't learn anything extra that I can use outside of this. I don't think about what my next step is. I'm just going to sit here on this train that's going
Yep.
in one direction, and I'm going to stay in my seat, and I'm just going to be content to just chug, chug, chug along the track
Ridiculous.
until it's time for me to get off on my stop. No, dude, that's not what this life is about. That's not what life should be about. That's not what freedom is about.
That's
We
what
live
rich
in one of the,
politicians, bro. That's what rich politicians want you to do, so they can fucking capitalize the shit out of you. You ever seen the
bro.
cows, bro? You ever seen the cows and the pigs? How much they abuse them? Guess what's happening? They're being capitalized on, and that's not just politicians. That's the world. The world is going to inflict its will upon you and try to squeeze as much out of you as possible. It won't stop until you say stop, right? And then you say, no, I control my own fucking destiny. I don't need some fucking broker guy to invest my money for me. I can choose how I'm going to diversify my portfolio. I don't got to pay you 50%. I don't need you to do their shit for me. I got my own fucking brain, right? And bro, that's why I'm kind of at a point where I almost don't believe in politics anymore, bro. Because it's like, well, neither of them, especially like high level. I know we talked about like there's local and then there's like really high level state. Bro, people like swear by like the Republicans, the Democrats. Like, I truly think, bro, like your life is so much better if you just focus on this guy and make sure this guy's taken care of and this guy's doing all the right things. You know, it's they don't. It's you're accountable for your shit or you're not. You want a
Yeah.
handout or you don't.
Yeah.
There's no
And this
politics, bro.
is things that we've talked about like throughout our history on the podcast. Personal
Yep.
accountability, making sure that you show up for yourself, making sure that you put your mask on before you put somebody else's on. And
Fuck
it's
a
like
mask. They don't work. I'm just kidding. Keep going.
it's like the amount of effort that people put into staying and towing the line is ridiculous to me, right? And
Yep.
and this might sound radical, you know what I mean? This might sound like,
Tell me.
oh, we're off the rails, like this is a bit radical, but in reality, you've got to be radical. You've got to go against the mold in order to do something different with your life. If you look around you and 100 people around you in a circle, 100 people in a circle around you, you point to any one of them and they're all doing the same thing. They're
Yep.
all getting up every day, going to work, paying their bills, coming home, going to sleep.
Yep.
All of them are doing the same thing, right? So if you want to do something different with your life, then you've got to do something different with your life.
Oh, bro. You know what? You know what's crazy about that? Like, because people say radical. That's radical. That's extreme. Is it really? Because last time I checked, success is a recipe. Success is math. There's specific things you do to achieve a specific result. If you know the exact things you have to do to achieve a specific result and you're doing those exact things, are you radical or are you just doing the things required to achieve a certain outcome? Maybe your mind doesn't work because you haven't thought through the process and you think success happens by luck. You're a fucking dumbass. Get the fuck off the podcast, right? Like, it's math, bro. Like, what is radical? You know, it's just like, this is what I want. This is what it takes to get there. Let me fucking do it. Or I'll stop lying, or stop lying to yourself. Like, you're not going to do it, but
you know what it is? It's like, you've got to break the mold. When and it's the mold is thick. It's been there for a while, but you've got to break
your whole life.
You got to break it. And you've got to surround yourself with people who are breaking molds in their own lives too.
Yep.
They say you are some of the 5 people you hang around, right? Well, if I'm only hanging around 5 people who have been doing the same thing their whole lives, if that's all my circle is, then I'm going to do the same thing I've done my whole life.
Yep. Any change is radical.
Right. Any change is radical. Exactly my point. If you hang around with ball players, you may not be the best ball player, but you're going to play ball.
Yep.
Right. If you hang around with poker players, you're going to learn to play poker. Right. If you hang around with losers, you're going to be a loser. So step it up, step yourself up, step your game up. Say, you know what? I'm breaking this mold. I'm jettisoning myself away from all of this. And I'm saying, you know what? Today, right here, right now, I'm going to sit down. Let me stop. Let me think. Let me make the first investment, which is into myself and making a plan of what I want. That's the first investment anyone should ever make. It's themselves. And 100%. Then from there, you invest. All right, now that I've invested in myself, what's the fruits of my labor? A lot of times, if you invest right, the fruits of your labor is money. It's time freedom. It's location 100%. Freedom. It's financial freedom. So when you've got those things, then you start investing into bigger things to grow that freedom. And then you say, okay, now that I've got all this freedom, I've got this plan in the future. I've got this house I want to build. I've got this business I want to build. I've got this foundation I want to fund. I've got whatever that may be. Then you say, okay, now let me invest. And all of a sudden, you're just chilling, watching it all come back to you because you've been out there in the weeds. You've been out there in the dirt with your pickaxe and your shovel and your seeds and your water. And you've been just grinding out there, making sure that everything's in place. And then you step back and you watch it grow.
Yep.
That's what an investment is.
100%. And here's the thing that people need to understand, right? By the way, dude, I know we're talking about like 5 people you surround yourself with. I started working out with my boys that I grew up with, bro, who've been really working out a lot. Like a year and a half ago, dude, I put on like 25 pounds of muscle in that year and a half, bro. Like literally, It just happens.
Yeah,
You
go
know?
back and look at Jaydaniel's videos from his first like YouTube videos. His long hair, scrawny looking dude. And now
Yeah.
look at him.
Jeez, bro. No, dude, really, you know?
Yeah,
And
for real.
so, yeah, no, 100%. Definitely had a lot of progress in terms of that. And fuck, there was another point you were making, bro. I lost my train of thought. So you go ahead.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to say on that point
Uh-huh.
is that a lot of times, like you said earlier, people are just sitting by thinking this happens with luck, but
Right.
nothing works that way.
Nope.
Nothing. So just look around you. You think, oh, I don't know what to do. Look around you at anything else. Look at the farmer, right? What does the farmer do? He gets up at the butt crack of dawn, goes out there and tills his field, plants his seeds, milks his cows, all of these things so that he can have milk and fruit and meat.
Yep.
He does all of those things. But when the time comes to harvest, he still has to go out and harvest all of it as well, too. It's still
Yep.
work. Like he is working constantly, nonstop, all the time to make sure that he's providing for his family, he's doing what he loves to do, and he's getting the yield of what he's put down. That's
Yep.
life. That's life. You think
100%.
you're just gonna okay, you're like, all right, I'll plant a seed here. I may water it a few times and then it's gonna grow into this big, beautiful tree. And then somebody's gonna just let you just bask in all your fruit. No, dude. You work, 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 you work. That work changes, just like it changes with the farmer. He's not digging in the dirt anymore. He's picking trees, picking fruit off trees. It changes, but it's still work. And so when it comes down to what you want to do and what you're willing to invest, if you're not willing to invest the work, if you're not willing to invest the time and the energy into it, then we can talk about money investments all day. You're never going to have money to invest.
And if they do, it's gonna go to waste because it's not gonna fucking get any results. Those are the people that buy all the courses. But I spent the money.
Yeah.
Where's my result? Well, sir, you're missing you're missing the most important part.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I hired the personal trainer, but he wanted me to do 100 push-ups. Fuck him. I already paid him, dude. My muscle's coming. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Where is it at? Hey, it's been three
Nothing
months.
works that way.
It's been 3 months. I don't have any muscle. What the fuck, bro? Give me a refund. Like, no, buddy. Like, that's not. What are you doing? Oh yeah, and so, dude. And here's the thing, right? You're talking about tilling the land and being that farmer, right? The farmer's not just doing random shit and figuring it out as he goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He has a plan, bro. He has a very structured plan. And when things go wrong, the crops are down, like he'll figure it out and he'll restructure his plan. He's not taking random actions. If he kept waking up at the crack of dawn, bro, for months and months and months, years and years and years, and his crops were wilting and dying and he wasn't getting any fruit, there would come a point where he would say, fuck this shit, I'm out. He would fucking jump out. He's gone, bro. He's gone, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
there's something to be said about the fruits that you're bearing from that consistent work and the plan you
Mm-hmm.
have to achieve that. Like, nobody's going to keep working out if they're not seeing progress. Nobody's going to keep doing sales if they're not seeing progress, right? And if they do, they're thoughtless and they're going to stay there for the next 30, 40 years because their goal is to maintain. And there's no such thing as maintaining. If there was, we would live forever. You'd be young, 25, and fucking ripped for the rest of your life. No, buddy, wrinkles are coming.
Yeah.
That hernia, that back pain, it's coming. So if you don't keep doing things to optimize, bro, I was at the gym today, and there's this dude, man. He's Puerto Rican, just this cool dude. We're talking, we're hanging out. He's pretty ripped. He's a strong guy. He's like, see, no, he's talking in Spanish. He's going, and I'm like, yup. How old are you? He's like, I'll turn 59 next week, actually. You're like, what? And my guy's ripped. Bro, he's ripped. He's lean. He's good. He's walking with a straight back, chest out. And then I think about other guys who are 45, other people who are 38, other people in their early 50s, and they don't look so good, bro.
Yeah.
They do not look so good. And so, like, things aren't just gonna happen, dude. There's no that if he just tried to maintain, like, you know what I mean? If he didn't have an aspiration to grow when he was younger and really put in the work, he wouldn't have that form. He would look like everybody else, disintegrating.
Facts. Yeah.
Look at his diet, dude. It's a recipe. Looking like that at 58 is a recipe. People think, bro, you know how crazy it is? Okay, so we're gonna go a little dark, but dude, diabetes, cancer, all this shit. A couple decades ago, look at the literally look at the stats. A couple decades ago, bro, that number was nowhere near 10% of the population.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's well over 50% nowadays, bro. People that have that. People think I'm old, I'm probably gonna get cancer, I'm probably gonna get diabetes, but they haven't stopped to think what causes this. How does this work? What's the recipe that one needs to live to actually achieve that outcome? Even if it's not an outcome you want, it's an outcome. If you don't have a plan, there is a plan laid out for you. You just aren't aware of it. It's somebody else's plan. And
Yeah.
sadly enough, bro, like if you got that sickness and you didn't know about it, like somebody planned for you to get that. Like
It's a law of nature. It's a law
it's
of
the law of
nature.
nature.
Every action has an equal or opposite reaction, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm 65 and I'm like, man, I got diabetes. Okay. But you were eating Twinkies and bonbons at 30, 40,
Yep.
50, 60, 64. You know what I mean? Like you weren't taking care of yourself. So yeah, I understand that. Now, I feel like we have to say this every time we say something like this, but obviously there are those people who are born with things and diseases that come and whatever. But for the most part, you
1%, bro.
control how you end up. You
Yep.
control where you go. Just like when you get in that car and you put that GPS in, you put the GPS destination in. All you got to do is follow the path. If you don't follow the path, you're not going to wind up at your destination. If you put in a
Exactly.
faulty destination, that's where you're going to wind up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you say, I want to wind up successful and you follow that path, you're successful. But if you don't put that destination in, you're just aimlessly driving around. That's what a lot of people do. They just aimlessly drive around life with no destination, no understanding of where they want to be, where they want to go.
Bro, you know how easy that is to fix? You, like literally you're lost, you're helpless, you're aimless. You can either keep driving lost and aimless and not enjoying life, or you could pull over for a second. Hell, don't even pull over. Just stop at a red light, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling you to do this. I'm saying this is something that one could do, that I may have done, hypothetically. Stop at the red light. It takes 5 seconds. Type in where the fuck you want to go in the GPS while you're waiting for the red light. Typically takes 2.5 minutes. And now you're back on track. That's literally all it takes, bro. 2 minutes. Sit the fuck down. If you breathe in and breathe out really slowly, bro, it actually shuts down like the stressed out. I think it's called parasympathetic nervous system, whatever the
Nice
fuck.
try. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you breathe out like slowly, bro, if you do that 2 or 3 times, it actually shuts down the stress part of your brain that activates your amygdala that makes you like 30% less coherent. There's actually been tests done, bro, where people are in a very grateful and elated and happy state, and their brain, it actually processes complex situations 30% and above, like more. I can look for the study, right? But like literally, like much more effective, bro. Much more effective. So like literally just stop at the red light. Hypothetically, you could do it. I'm not saying you have to. I might have done it in the past. I'm not saying I did. Right? Can't cancel me. I'm too smart. Take a deep breath. Where the fuck do I want to go? What's my outcome? And you're fixed. Like
Yeah.
literally, bro, the people that are walking with their heads down and they're sad and depressed, that's all it takes. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
retire. Literally, I want to retire my mom. I want to like get my girlfriend this. I want to do this. I want to do this. Done.
Yeah.
You're done. It's not that
Yeah.
difficult. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. And also you have to be real with yourself too. Dream
Mm-hmm.
big, yeah, for sure. But be real with yourself. Like, okay, what do I really want? Let me not just throw a bunch of random stuff out there. What do I really want to do? How do I really want to be? How do I really want to live? Dude, journaling is a great way to map that out.
Yep.
And sometimes for the visual learner, the visual person, dude, go clip some stuff off. Clip some clip art
Yep.
out. Put a Google
Yep.
Doc together of what you want your life to look like, your house, your car, your shoes,
Bro,
whatever you want to do.
you want to hear a hack for this stuff, bro? That people don't talk about? What gets you emotional now, dude? In your day-to-day life, what gets you emotional?
Hmm.
Think about that. That is your path to unlimited drive? What gets you emotional in your life right now? Do you have a sick relative that needs help? Do you have a kid, right, that you would want more for? And start to do, like, literally imagine scenarios involving the people that or the situations that get you the most emotional, right?
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, you have a kid and like, think about them seeing you as the fucking dude that everybody respects. Think about them telling all their friends, like, yo, my
That's
dad's
my
the
dad.
best.
Yeah.
Think about,
It's
like,
powerful.
dude, that will motivate anybody, bro. Just
Yeah.
what triggers your emotions now, and literally just imagine scenarios around that, bro. That'll give you infinite motivation, bro. Literally.
Yeah.
Again, 2
Facts.
minutes.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, stop at the fucking red light. Like, you ever hear somebody say call a friend, bro?
Yeah.
Dude, engaging with other people, two minds come together, a third is formed. Infinite energy, bro.
Yeah.
Infinite energy.
Hit us up. Send an email to salesathomepodcast@gmail.com.
Dude,
Let's
sales at
talk
home
about it.
podcast at gmail.com. Let's fucking talk about it,
Let's
dude.
talk about it.
Even if
Let's go through it.
even if we roast you, it's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll roast you and then we'll help you out at the end.
Yeah.
All good. No, I mean, seriously though, like reaching out to people who actually want to help you and who actually can help you and help you to focus and figure it out. It's important. I mean, asking questions. Again, ask questions. Send us your questions. Ask questions. If you're like, how do I do this? I'm struggling with this. How do I do that? Ask somebody. Ask us. We'll get on here and we'll spend time delving through it, give you different opinions, different ways to do things, how we would do it, how we wouldn't do it. I mean, that's what people are there for. That's what we're here for.
Ooh, and you want to hear another life hack, bro? For a lot of you listening, if it's difficult for you to ask for advice, to have somebody help you, dude, look for somebody that looks up to you. Look for somebody that that needs your advice, right? Like, if you ever feel really bad, give a homeless guy, buy a homeless guy fucking food, bro. You know, like like helping somebody who you're ahead of gives you so much perspective, bro. A kid, like literally, like somebody who's going through a similar problem to you, if you just help them out, you start to have epiphanies in your own mind. You're like, oh yeah, I could do that. You know what? I haven't done that. You know what? I've been slacking a little bit in this area. And now it's this weird thing where you kind of have to do it because you kind of told them to do it. And it's something that you already knew. That's why, bro. Have you ever gotten somebody to give you advice? You're stuck. You're like, somebody gives you advice that you already knew. You do it, and you're like, boom.
Yep.
You ever had that happen, bro?
Yep.
You know, dude, if you've been in any industry for a long enough time, you know what it takes to be successful. And a little, like, you just got to fucking do it. And that's why having a plan and structuring it out and just following it is the easiest way. You can hire a personal trainer, somebody to give you the plan and think for you. But in my opinion, bro, I don't think you should go to a mentor or a personal trainer or a coach or anybody until you've truly challenged yourself to think through the structure of what you need to be successful. Because when you think through it, you'll start to see, okay, yeah, I'm missing. I don't fucking know this. I don't know if I don't fucking know this. Let me look for the answer. Let me look for books. Let me look for videos. Let me try to understand and gain a comprehension. And once you've tried by yourself like 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and you're like, okay, cool, I've kind of hit the limit of my capacity. Practically, let's find somebody who's done this shit. And that's when spending 10 grand on a coach makes sense. Because they're going to give you what you need and you're going to implement it. Because the reason people don't implement shit as well when they pay so much for coaching, bro, you know why that is? Because they feel they want to do it their way. Yeah. So do it your way first. Implement it. Fuck.
Their
get it out of the
broken.
way.
They have never used their implementer before. So when it comes down to
broken.
Yeah, it's broken. It's out of use. They've never used it before. So when it comes down to somebody saying, okay, this is exactly what you need to do, and as soon as it's a little bit uncomfortable, they're like, nah, fam, I'm not doing that. But it's like, because you've never done it before. You've never gotten uncomfortable enough to put yourself in the effort. You said something, and I think that it's important to hit again. But if you're scared to ask for help, that's probably the one thing you should be doing the most. if you're scared of putting in the work, if you're scared of talking to people, that's probably the one thing you should be doing more than anything else. Because think, why are you scared to do it? You're scared to do it because it's new, because it's uncomfortable, because it's vulnerable. It makes you look weak. But you know what happens when you do those things? You get the answers you're looking for. You get the help you need. You grow and know you're no longer scared. It's no longer new. You're no longer vulnerable. And you're no longer weak.
100%. And dude, one thing to that as well, because like, I think the worst thing like failure is doing nothing, right? The worst thing you could do is do nothing. Stopping for a second, chilling the fuck out, making a plan, and then going, that's not doing nothing, right?
Yeah. That's resetting.
That's resetting. The worst thing you could do is do nothing. So if you hear you got to talk to somebody, it's the most important thing to do. Dude, if you fucking do it, you're fucking Krispy Kreme golden, bro. Like you got 16 ounces of fucking gold, like you're solid, you know? But do something, bro. Find the simplest thing that you could bear to do at the moment. Like, I'll give you an example. So, let's say your life is a fucking mess, right? Everything's horrible. Your house stinks. It's dirty. The walls are broken. Your toilet's fucked. Like you're just a slob, right? If you were to look, and if you've been like that for months, bro, and somebody tells you clean your house, you're gonna be like, clean my house? That means I gotta get up, I gotta wash the sheets, I gotta paint the walls, I gotta fix the plumbing, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that. That's a big leap, right? And I think if you have somebody in your life that's forcing you to do it, you may do it. But if you want to learn self-leadership, self-accountability, and you truly like know yourself, it's not as good as just cleaning the whole fucking house. But most people aren't gonna practically be able to do that. So I think, dude, just start with your bed. Make your bed. You don't got to do anything else. Just make your fucking bed, because that's progress. And there's this weird thing, bro, where once you make a little bit of progress, all of a sudden everything is easier. It's not that, because now you're out of thinking mode and you're into doing mode, right? Because what happens is people have their CEO hat, but your CEO hat's optimized for what you want. When you're laying down and you're comfortable, what do you want? You want to be comfortable. So now you're optimizing for that. So you're actually going to tell yourself a story to keep comfortable, right? Yeah, but if I clean the house and I have to do this and this and this, and that contradicts with what I want, so I'm going to shut that shit right down, right? So if you just move, now that disappears. Now that's gone because you're focused on, hey, the bed looks pretty good.
Awesome. And then you get that dopamine hit.
Right? Yeah.
You get that dopamine hit. You're like, ooh, I made the bed. What can I do next?
Yeah. And all of a sudden the whole fucking house is clean.
Let me go brush my teeth. Okay. After I brush my teeth, now I feel good. Now let me go do something else. Let me go do something else. And all of a sudden you've got this momentum into your day because you started small.
Tiny, bro. Microscopic. If you can't even like make your bed, bro, like
you're tripping.
Exactly, dude. I don't know if you can think of something simpler than that. Like, go for it. You know, like, dude, like meditate. I don't know. Like, sit. Like, just don't even leave your bed. Just sit up on your bed. Just sit up for 2 seconds and breathe. You've done something. You've moved. You know, you're in a different place, right? It's progress. Like,
you know what I think is important to state here when we talk about this. It's you said something like simple as sitting up in your bed, right? If you make the plan to sit up in your bed and you sit up in your bed, it's like, yeah, I did it.
You just built that.
If you just randomly sit up in your bed, it's like, okay, I just sat up in my bed. Like, you don't think anything of it. But when you're like, all right, I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm going to sit straight up in my bed.
Yeah.
And you do that, you're like, dang, I did it. Now I can make my bed. Now I can do this. Now I can do that. When you make that plan, like we talked about earlier, making that plan to do something, anything, and just hit it. And then plan further, and then hit that, and then hit that, and then hit that, and then hit that. All of a sudden, you've had a successful day, right? And with a successful day, that leads to a successful week. And successful weeks lead to successful months, months lead to years, years lead to the rest of your life.
Yep. And you know what you build along the way, bro? You build character, you build values, you build all the most important intangibles that you only get by being a bad motherfucker, bro, by doing the right things, you know? And it sounds simple, bro, but like, dude, like we just covered every personal development book ever.
Yeah.
You don't have to stuff your face in a book all day or listen to all these things. No, it's very simple. It's very simple. And once you have it in your bro, let's do a visualization. Imagine a beach. How many grains of sand do you think are on that beach?
Trillions.
Trillions, dude. And that's
Yeah.
one beach. I was in Costa Rica. There were like 10 in one city.
Yeah.
Right? Your the part of your brain that just remembers shit, bro, it's as vast as every single it's as vast as every beach on the every grain of sand on the entire planet. The conscious brain, the part that can remember and focus on shit, guess how big the amount of focus is in the moment. It's as big as 1 grain
10%.
of sand. It's 1 grain of sand, bro. It's 1 fucking grain of sand. And literally, it's 1 grain of sand, which means like all you can focus on one thing at a time. Right? So having all this information, it's not gonna do anything, dude. Because you can literally store this shit forever. Forever, dude. And yeah, you can relearn it to remake, there's the theory of like every time you learn something, every time you do something, you're forming a neural pathway. It's like going from a forest to a trail to a little sidewalk to a street to a highway, right? Every time you reinforce a neural pathway, sure. But there's a difference between helpful and interesting and productive. And this is why at the very beginning of the podcast we talked about having your vision, your purpose, right? Like what's the thing I can go to in my mind and I'm fucking there, Like I think about it, I'm on point. Every single action for the right. It's important to have that because now you can ask yourself, what's the one thing I could do that's going to take me the closest to that? Now you don't have to read a book, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this. Usually it's for right, like if it's making more money, okay, cool. How do I make more money? What are the things I could do to achieve that? Right? I got to make these calls. Okay, cool. Let's make these calls. I feel like shit on the calls. Why do I feel like shit? Well, I didn't get any sleep last night. Okay, we got to get more sleep. What time? How many hours did I get? At what time did I go to sleep last night? Okay, 3 a.m. What time did I wake up? 4 a.m. Okay, cool. Let's fix that. Right? I feel better, but I still feel like shit. Okay. Why do you feel like shit? I don't know. What's the last thing you ate? Taco Bell. Okay, cool. So you're eating a whole bunch of food with fucking hormones that's a grade D, and the fucking animals are eating all this garbage. Okay, cool. So let's increase the quality of our food so we have more energy, right? Okay, cool. I'm on the calls. I have energy. People are telling me to fuck off. Why is that? I don't know. Let me listen to it. Let me figure it out. I can't figure it out. Have somebody help me. Hey, why are they telling me to fuck off? Because you sound like a bitch. What do you mean I sound like a bitch? You're not confident. Do you believe in the product? Not really. Okay, cool. Now we got to believe in the product. Okay, cool. So let's study the product. Now you can block out time in your schedule the night before. Okay, cool. I'm going to spend these 3 hours studying the product, going through the testimonials, talking to an existing client, right? Bam, you just fixed that. Now you're confident on the calls. Now you're making this. Now you're making more money. You've achieved your outcome. It's been 6 days. This guy over here is talking about, let me read about the law of attraction because it can start to increase my chances of being successful. No, dude. If you have your outcome, you can ask yourself, what's the one thing that's going to drive you? It's called there's not an RGO, but there's always the one activity that's going to yield the 80% of the results, right? And I think too many people are caught up doing interesting shit that's productive, right? For a vague goal. But those are the people that stay floating around for years and years and years. If you're outcome focused, bro, you can achieve most goals in a couple months. Bro, Elon Musk literally bought Twitter and fixed it. Problems that had never been fixed for years and years and years in a couple weeks. Right? Yeah. Outcome focused. I need to make this company profitable. Okay, cool. We're going to fire 7,500 people that are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to sit here and talking about switching genders and bullshit. Cut them all off, right? Like, okay, cool. We need to increase the revenue coming into the company. Okay, so we need some kind of subscription service. What can we do? Whatever the fuck. Twitter Blue, $8 a month, $15, right? Like, very intentional next steps. So it's a bit of a rant, but I guarantee if you're making less, like, I guarantee, bro, the majority of people who are making less than 6 figures, it's because you're doing dumb shit that isn't driving you to your goal.
Mm.
or you don't even know your goal. You forgot it. You just have a vague idea in the back of your head, but you're focused on like whatever, Pornhub. I don't know, whatever the fuck people do, right? Like, so yeah, bro, take the mic. I'm talking too much.
No, it's all good. I mean, it's the truth. What you put your effort into is it's going to yield fruit, right? I mean, if I put an orange in the ground, I'm going to get oranges. So if I put in something that's going to get me where I want to be, that's what I'm going to get there. But if I'm putting in all this frivolous activity and I'm not putting in the things that are going to actually get me to where I want to be, I'm not going to get there. I mean, that's point blank. And that's why we said when we talked about, we've been talking about investments from the beginning, but like invest in yourself first. Invest in your
Skills pay
mental
the
state.
bills, bro.
Yeah, invest in your skills, but also invest up here, invest in your mind.
That's a skill too.
Yeah, it is. Like
people don't use that shit, bro.
Plan. That's a skill. Learning how to plan, learning how to develop where you want to go, learning to see where you want your future to be, learning to understand that in order to have a future, I need to imagine what that future looks like. And if you can do that, then money investments are no big deal.
Dude, oh, that's such a good segue, bro. Because like, if you think about that shit, right? It's been an hour. Holy shit! I don't stop talking. But dude, if that's a really good segue, because if you think about like, how do I break this down? So like, go. I went too deep down the rabbit hole. Can you repeat what you said a second ago, bro? And I'll just go off it.
If you invest in yourself and you learn to have a future and understand where that future is going to take you, then money investments are nothing.
Money investments are nothing, dude. Here's the thing. Like, we're on sales, right?
Yeah.
The people, so like, and we've talked about this before, but it's just so important because like, I can tell when somebody's gonna absolutely crush it going into a program, bro, within 5 minutes of talking to them.
Yeah.
Literally, like you can tell. And here's the thing, right? They're not led by fear, but they're also not gullible and stupid. They're led by purpose. Somebody with purpose is going to ask you, how does this work? How do I know it's going to work for me? What happens when I come into this situation and I'm stuck here?
Mm-hmm.
How do I know that? Can you give me an example? Okay, but what about this scenario? What about here? Right? They probably already have a track record of succeeding because that's right? Like when you have a purpose, you tend to succeed in almost everything you do, right? And succeeding is you just keep trying and you make adjustments because you're obviously going to not succeed the first time around, right? Those 10% of people that you talk to, they jump in, they become the testimonial a month later. I've seen it so many times. The people that are like, that's a lot of money. I got to think about it. Those are the fuckers that don't even take their own advice. They're not sure because they know what they have to do. They haven't even done that yet. Bro, the worst objection you could ever hear on a sales call, bro, and this speaks a lot to the character of the person, is like, I'll do it on my own. So you booked in a call. You spoke to us about your problems for the last hour to do it on your own.
Yeah.
Why the fuck haven't you done it on your own? Why haven't you already put in? Why are you wasting our time if you haven't even put in the effort on your own? You are the type of individual that's going to perpetually fail at everything you do because you're not even, you're asking for handouts. You're asking for like somebody to help you before you even do it. Right. And so you need to have that sense of purpose going into it. And if you do, you're not even going to, dude, you're literally going to like ask the right questions, bro. And it's not a matter of the money. It's a matter of, this is my fucking goal. This is where I'm going to be. I need to put myself in the best position to get there. Can you help me? I've already tried on my own. I've already maxed everything out. I need help. And I know if I fix this problem, it's going to yield me much more than $4,000 fucking dollars. Right? Those people always succeed. Always. I've never seen them not succeed. Ever. Right? Because that's what it takes. If you don't have a purpose, you're so easily swayed by the world, by your emotions, by the people around you, by garbage. You know? Tell me not, bro. Have you ever had somebody, bro? You're like,
it's true.
And that's why, like, me personally, I don't like, I don't like spending like an hour and a half or 2 hours with somebody. trying to get them over the line. If they haven't done shit, dude, like for me personally, I think like do shit. Get the fuck out of here. Do shit. Let's talk in a month.
Mhm.
Did you do shit? Why didn't you do shit? Why are you so useless? To yourself, not to me. I don't care. But why are you so useless? You know? And if they listen to you and they take it to heart, bro, those are the people that implement and
Yeah.
and then they get the result, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I like to do because like that's how I would, like to be kind of like sold to per se, right? Like, dude, like you haven't even done shit yet. Why are you on this call? Like do shit. Use your brain. Why do you need me to think for you? Why do you need the guru to think for you?
Yeah.
Right? Think for yourself. And if you're stuck, like you should know, okay, if they solve this problem for me, I'm gonna make this much next move. It's a little bit scary. Let me ask all my questions to make sure that they can possibly help it. I'm putting myself in a good spot. Bam.
Yeah.
Bro. Think about bro, Elon Musk, right? Or Richard Branson. What's their number one skill set? I've read all their autobiographies and books.
Decision making.
It's decision making, bro. And it's thought process.
Yeah.
They think. They're addicted to thinking. Anytime anything happens, they think, bro. They almost overthink, but they overthink in terms of the number one most productive thing to get them to their goal. Most people overthink not with purpose, they overthink with fear. If you let your emotions dictate you overthinking without a clear direction, you're fucking lost, bro.
Yeah.
You're lost as fuck, dude. Like I'm sorry, buddy, you are fucked. You're going down a very deep rabbit hole, and then that leads to some really dark shit, right? Like that leads to, and that's why I think teaching people emotional strength, right?
Yeah.
Teaching people techniques like how to ground themselves when they're distraught by emotions is important, because if you don't have that, bro, that's what leads to like the addictions. That's what leads to like gambling. That's what leads to like suicide. That's what leads to drug abuse.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta be able to control your emotions and ground yourself. And it's literally just rituals, bro. Like I have a ritual, bro, where if I'm really fucking stressed out or I'm really out of it, chill the fuck out. Don't make any more decisions when you're tired or angry or out of it. Chill the fuck out. Get into a good headspace. If that doesn't work, like just like if you can, bro, literally go for a walk. Yeah. Just do anything to get out of this headspace where you are useless, because you're gonna fuck every decision you make up, and you're overthinking over stupid shit. That's not your purpose. That's not your focus. Get back on your purpose. Get back on your focus.
True. Yeah. Facts.
Any thoughts to add to that?
No, I mean, you're 100% right. It's
Victor's tired of me, guys. I don't
making decisions when you're stressed, when you're sad, when you're angry, when you're emotional. It's never good. It's never good. And it almost always leads you off the path that you want to be on. Yep. So just chill, relax, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Center yourself again, ground yourself again, and realize, okay, this is just a setback. This is just a detour. So because it's a detour, there's always another way. There's always another path to get to where you want to be. You just have to figure out what that is.
Yep. And bro, like I like define it. Like really define it, dude.
Yeah.
Like literally define it. Like, okay, for me, bro, like, dude, I grew up with no dad, right? And so I saw the challenges that come with that. So for me, it's like, if I could help 1 million kids that didn't have dads, how dope would that be?
Yeah.
Right. But it's, and that's like a life thing. That's like the rest of my life. Right. And so I can kind of, I think about that. Right. And that aligns me. And then it's like, okay, cool. What's the next step for that? I probably got to be the example. I got to be the dude. Right. If it's like, what do I want to give them? I want to be the fucking dude, And so like, okay, cool. Let's be that dude. Let's get financially free. Let's do what we want. If I want to be a fighter, if I want to be a hooper, if I want to be like a freaking streamer, if I want to do any of this shit, bro, right?
Yeah.
I got to be that dude. And that aligns me, and that allows me to make decisions from the perspective of like the purpose and the mission. And now it's not about it's not about motivation, dude. Right? If you need motivation, you just don't have a drive or a purpose. You're just going day to day, and that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right? Like
you need motivation from the couch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Motivation's garbage, bro. And it's garbage
for
from
sure.
it's garbage from the perspective of if you have like a clear fucking outcome that you can just think of in 2 seconds, bro. Like literally, dude, just a clear outcome. And it
Yep.
can be something that you may never be able to achieve. But if you just have that and you think about it for a second and you start like just ruminating over the specifics of it, all of a sudden you're aligned, bro. Literally, just ruminate over it. Okay, 1 million, but okay, so that means one. That means like, what's the next step? Okay, I could do this, and then this,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you're amped up again. You know, literally, you're amped up again. And if you can't bring yourself to do it, like just call a friend, bro. Call a friend. Talk about that shit. You know, like ask them, like, hey, what are your goals? You know, what's your driving purpose?
Yeah.
I don't have one. Number one, you probably need friends that do have one. But number two, you can start just having a conversation over the topic, right?
Yeah.
You literally just start talking about the topic because you probably know, you just haven't thought about it enough. And sometimes the best way to think about something is to fucking talk. You know,
True.
sometimes I'm on this fucking
Yeah.
podcast and I say some shit and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's crazy. Oh, and I start going and I start just going over it afterwards, bro. You know, like, you know,
Yeah.
the information is in your brain. You have all the answers, bro.
You just got to figure out how to tap into it.
Dude, there's a scientifically proven like statement where basically it was this whole crazy like study. And I can look for these studies if you fucks want, but just look into it yourself. But basically the brain, have you ever been talking, bro? You're speaking, you're not thinking, you don't have any notes, but you're just speaking. And all these things that you've never even thought about just seem to come to you. Almost like something is speaking through you. You're not even the one talking, you're the messenger.
Yeah.
Well, and this is actually a concept in Think and Grow Rich, but there's this whole idea of the brain being an antenna.
Yeah.
Right? Information, we're getting a little woo-woo, but this is scientifically proven, right? The brain is an antenna that operates off electricity, and it's able to pick up waves, literally energy, literally like, and you can say it's God, you could say it's infinite intelligence, the universe, Allah. It doesn't matter. The fact is that it happens, right? And literally, like, sometimes you just gotta flow, bro. Look for a way to flow, and things will just start coming to you. Like, you know, the purpose for your life, and it's a lot simpler than you think. It really is a lot simpler than you think. You just need to think about like truly just cut the bullshit and be present. A while ago, I read this thing. He was saying like, stand in front of a tree for 3 hours and separate yourself from everybody and do a 48-hour fast to empty out. It's true. Most people are very brain fogged. But if you just get away from your phone for a second and fucking just, hell, you can even be on your phone and just do a phone call and talk to somebody, or you can be on your phone and just be on Evernote, right? I really got to get a paid sponsorship. I think I said Evernote like 6 times this now.
It's like 7, yeah.
Dude, I've been using it for a while, bro. And I fucking pay for this subscription. $14.99 a month, guys. If you get the monthly plan. If you get the yearly plan, you get 14% off. No, like
this podcast is brought to you by
Evernote. Fucking Evernote,
work on
dude.
that.
Yeah. Oh no, bro. We got it, man. That sounds so fun having sponsors. You know, sponsors that we fuck with too. Because I think a lot and that's the beauty of being financially free too. I think a lot of people are bought, bro. I think a lot of people are bought. If money has power over your life, you're kind of useless, you know? Like if truly money has power, somebody can pay for you to do random shit, you're kind of useless.
You're
manipulative. You're easily manipulated. You're easily manipulated. And you know who else was easily manipulated? The Nazis. You know who the Nazis were? Somebody's mom, somebody's dad, somebody's brother who didn't have a purpose or a thought process.
Yeah.
So they didn't critically think and analyze what's in front of them. And they just assumed it was for the best, because when you don't have a purpose, when you don't have a purpose, when you're not the master of your body, guess who's your master? Your body, your emotions, your baseline instincts. What are those things? To be as comfortable as possible, to avoid pain, right? To have a full stomach, to have sex. So if you're dominated by those baseline instincts, what's going to happen? Right? You're going to be in a situation where you're very easily manipulated. A lot of people are easily manipulated. I'm sorry, bro. If you got a wilting old man and you believe this wilting old man who is literally dying in front of you, forcing you to take a shot that Let's not even go into the shock, because I'm sorry, you believe in that. Like you just haven't done any research. By now, it's obvious. Like you just aren't incentivized to think. You're not like your purpose is to be like your meat sack. You know, your purpose is to like do what your body says. And I just think that's such a bad thing, bro. I think that's such a bad thing. And I don't believe in a two-party system, Democrats, Republicans. That's bullshit, bro. Like it really is bullshit. There's good values from both sides. It's garbage, right? It's just, do you take responsibility for your life and live the life you want, or are you a fucking slave that's easily manipulated by other people that's waiting for handouts? There are no handouts. It's an equal exchange of value. If I give you something for free, you better know damn sure I'm getting something that's more valuable because I'm giving you something, right? Nobody gives something and loses. Like nobody does that. If I give you something, even if you give me, let's say I give you $10 and you give me $5, you're winning, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. What if the emotional happiness I get from you getting an extra $5 is worth more to me than the $5? I won in turn. Like it's a value exchange. That feeling is worth more to me than the $5, right? And that happens with every individual. Everything's a value exchange. So if somebody's giving you shit for free, bro, think about the incentive for them. Why are they doing that? Why is Facebook a free platform, yet it's a multi-billion-dollar company? The CEO can spend $100 million on fucking land, bro, when you don't even pay a dime to use it. You are the product. You are giving them the data and the tech. You're giving them everything they need, right, to make a shit ton of money and to do a lot of stuff. So it's just, there's people that think through life, bro, and that are purposeful and intentional, and there's people that aren't. There are no political parties. All that shit is garbage. It's all about personal responsibility at the end of the day, bro.
And that's what we talk about. It all comes back to personal responsibility. We talk about it almost every podcast. We talked about it in episode 26 with Jake. We talked about it on the podcast episode 29 with Chance and David. It's all about personal responsibility and making sure that you're dialed in to who you want to be and what you want to accomplish. And then just making the plan to do it. It's great, dude. It's good stuff.
Doesn't that address every single problem in the world? Like ever?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, guys,
Solid.
This has been the Sales at Home podcast. Thank you for jumping on. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We're also on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, and where else are we, Victor?
Everywhere else.
And don't forget to send us an email at
salesathomepodcast@gmail.com.
salesathomepodcast@gmail.com. Come on. All right, guys, it's been real.
See ya.
Thanks for watching Sales at Home podcast. If you loved our content and would like to see more, please hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on any episodes coming up. If you'd like to see more of Jaydaniel, click here. If you'd like to see more of the Ninja Closer, click here. If you'd like to get your questions answered by us on our show, email us at salesathomepodcast@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram. Peace.